Dear Libra, I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your April 2022 horoscope. And we start off the month with a new moon opposite your sign. It's in Aries, and it's April 1st. And then we also have this first week of April is pretty packed with some planetary movement because we have Mars canoodling with Saturn on the 4th, Venus moving into her exalted sign of Pisces on the 5th. And at this new moon, we've got not just the sun and moon canoodling, but Mercury and Chiron. So how does this affect you? And there's more things happening throughout the month, but let's just start with this first week. And this is your relationship house that is being affected, your seventh house. And also your fifth with Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. This is making a sextile. That means opportunities can show up here for you to be quick thinking, make quick decisions, maybe being a little impulsive, but doing so in a way that is encouraging or has courage behind it, taking some fast action, maybe to support a partner, or if you're single, looking for love or wanting to reconnect with somebody that you've lost touch with, this is an opportunity for you to suddenly go, you know what? I feel inspired to just put myself out there, take the risk, and see what happens. And what very is clearly indicated here with Chiron is that this could be very healing, not just for you, but for the relationship, for the other person. So if for some reason you've been in a situation or thinking, it doesn't just have to be romance, it could be a friendship, it could be family, it could also be professionally, that if there has been someone in your life that there's been a separation or there's been tension, this is a beautiful new moon to repair that, to rejuvenate it. This is great for reconciliation, those of you couples who may be going through a tough time and getting on that same page, especially with this fifth house being active. Now, I recognize Saturn in the fifth house is not easy when it comes to matters of love or relationship. You may feel as though you've been restricted in just having some fun and finding great pleasure, and you're having to be more disciplined about things. However, the gift of this is that Mars can kind of push through some of these walls or some of these barriers with the right use of will and being able to use the mind and having these great ideas that you could actually put some structure around when it comes to having fun. I've shared on my other videos about how I've taken up skiing this season, and I really love it. So I'm going to use that as an example here of this Mars and Saturn working together. And that is, there's a certain technique and framework that you have to use when you're skiing, or you can get very seriously injured. However, Mars has a wonderful opportunity to be able to push through and use that force to dig in deep, especially when the snow gets icy or the conditions get a little rough, and finding good pleasure in the discipline of learning the craft. So I say all that is that some of you Libras may end up taking on, not necessarily a sport, could be with Mars here, but taking on some activity that allows you to be able to put structure behind it, to learn, to grow, and to find joy in that process. Now, it's possible after this new moon time that some of the results or reactions from others, that because you may have been impulsive with the words that you used, especially with Mercury in Aries right now, or some of the decisions you made, that others could get a little bit resistant to what happened. And you may need to coax them and work with them a little bit and find some great compassion and sensitivity in the fact that perception is reality, and they may not like your decision. So you may have to make some adjustments. But the gift is Venus in Pisces is going to activate that sixth house. Like I mentioned, she loves being in Pisces. This is in your daily routines, your coworkers, your health, your ritual space. But with Venus here, she can help you create an environment that is beautiful and harmonious, and it's very compassionate and sweet. And so you can invite others to just join in the collaboration. This is more confirmation of the healing. So if you were reaching out to somebody, or you were connected with someone, and you drew the opportunity to reconcile or to work through an issue, you can have continued support with Venus here. The other thing about this first week of April is that those of you single Libras who are looking for love, you may decide just to put yourself out there and see what shows up. and have some fun around it, but also being seen as someone who can actually paint this beautiful picture and easily attract another human to you that wants the same things that you do. And you'll be talking a lot about it and how do you actually put things in place. What does relationship really mean for you? Maybe you, and if you're bonded, you're looking at this from the lens of a partnership in that respect and saying, let's build something now with our resources that has long-lasting results, has stability, and you'll be thinking about this and talking about it as Mercury enters Taurus on April 11th. So those of you Libras who are really looking at relationship from that healing standpoint, this is an opportunity to come up with ideas of bringing in more resources so that you can bond that much stronger with the individual. Jupiter will canoodle Neptune April 12th, the big conjunction that's happening. That's in your 6th house. This is telling me that something around your daily routine is going to expand and grow. This is a new cycle that is being set up. If you've been dealing with a health issue, this is an opportunity for you to be able to have hope and faith that you can finally bust through that barrier, or that you can get the solution and results that you need. It also, if you're wanting to expand your daily routines as far as like your health regimen or maybe the workload that you have, you may find yourself getting really creative at this time. It could be an increase in the workload or an increase in the rituals that you're doing. However, this has such a beautiful placement for using your intuition, using your empathy, trusting yourself that as you go about your routines, that you can have some far-reaching effects. Some of you, I will say with this conjunction here, may end up establishing some form of self-help, self-development, mental health that has long-reaching effects. You may be considering and looking at where you may relocate or live that has a longer a long distance aspect to this. You may be working with people and places from all over the world during this time as this cycle gets set up. So some of you may have a new role that you play that allows you to do that. Mars enters Pisces, so further activating the 6th house, telling me that, and that happens April 15th, further indicating that you're going to be on the move to create a routine, a life. You may have to do some healing of your own, or you draw to you opportunities that allow you to use your healing gifts in very deep and compassionate ways. They say we teach what we most need to learn. I sense several of you Libras have gone through some major stuff health-wise, and that this now gives you the opportunity to, as you move through it, you find your solutions to now also help others. Full moon in Libra, April 16th. This is in your sign. This is your 1st house. See, again, this culmination, the first part of April, where you're having all these experiences, all these activities and conversations with yourself, with others. And at this full moon, you're ready to shine. You're ready to release this new, it's like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. You're finally ready to step out into the world and say, now that I've got my daily regimen set up so that I can be the best version of myself, I want to show everybody who I am and how I do it in the most beautiful way. There's a small indication here that some of you Libras may actually be releasing a relationship at this time, because it is all relationship driven for you Libras. And this relationship is one that has served its purpose, the contract's complete, and it's healed. That doesn't necessarily mean that you cancel the person out of your life, but it has more to do with, you know what, I'm really done with that. Some of you may see that if you're partnered with someone significant in their life, it makes their exit as well. The other big indication for this month of April is that relationships in general that you draw to you, you may draw some that come in for healing themselves. So it could be this wonderful dynamic, a new friendship, a new relationship as far as romance that is here to help you feel as though you can really heal from your past and come into something new and beautiful, more evolved for the future. Venus will canoodle Neptune April 27th, making this even sweeter for you in that 6th house. And then Mercury enters Gemini in that ninth house of yours, right after Venus and Neptune canoodle. So this is telling me it's got a square going on with that sixth and ninth house. But what it can do is it creates quite a bit of energy around your thought processes, how you communicate your opinions. What is faith? What is hope? What gives my life meaning? And it's my daily routines that give me meaning. It's the little things that make all the difference in the world. That's where I see your main focus towards the end of the month, especially as we have a new moon in Taurus and Venus will canoodle Jupiter, a very sweet, romantic new moon. So I have a feeling that if you've done all this work in April at the beginning of the month to really give yourself permission to, have those difficult conversations if relationships have been tough, or if they've been perfectly fine for you, then use affirmations and confirmations, appreciations, all of that, because at the end of the month of this new moon, this is activating your sixth and eighth houses. And this is going to give you the opportunity to find the resources and the accolades that you need in order to deepen your intimacy, deepen your bonds, and build something long-term. This is especially good for those of you Libras who have looked for other ways to make more money, secure contracts, loans, things like that. So definitely give yourself permission to set some intentions at the end of the month at this new moon in Taurus to build the future that has great healing properties for you, that also is of great benefit for others. And remember this, that your relationships are a reflection of your values as well. You want to know what somebody values? Look where they spend their time, money, resources, right? And if you're spending time with someone that is in alignment with your values, that brings out the best of you, that you like who you are when you're with them, then this new moon has an opportunity for you to share that, to feel that, to know how appreciated you are. I even see some of you Libras getting flowers from coworkers and being given some sort of sweet gift from your beloved if you're bonded, or if you decide you want to start dating, this is a beautiful chance to meet somebody new. So get out, circulate. I know it's a new moon. They say withdraw. I'm going to say the opposite. These two new moons that bookend the calendar month of April for you, Libra, is a time for you to get out, circulate, and connect with others of like heart, like mind, do the healing work, and you're going to find yourself being one of the cosmic favorites this month. And really, I think there's going to be moments where you just sit in awe of how the universe has your back, of how things just seem to drop into place because you're in the flow. So if nothing else, use this month to stay in the flow. When you meet resistance, don't run from it. Just know that you've got the support of all this beautiful Piscean energy that is all about trusting your intuition, empathy, compassion. Yes, it has illusions to it as well because it does blur the lines. But if you come back and you communicate with empathy, what your boundaries are, this can show you what love truly is. You become love itself. All right, Libra, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. I look forward to connecting with you. I hope you have a great month.